Welcome to A Chicken Named Paul. It's been a second since we've been here because we've been busy spinning on the hamster wheel of life, trying not to fall into the lake of doom to be so real. What a strange timeline we're living in.
This is the bad place.
We're trying to make this bad place a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so welcome. We're happy you're here. Today we're answering a question from someone in the flock, which is you guys. So this person wrote in and they were wanting some advice. So we wanted to share it with all of you. Feel free to also hop into the comments and offer some thoughts.
Yep.
Okay, so the question is, I'm a baby bi at 44 and I'm bravely exploring the new world and ready to date after healing. Do you have any tips? Where did you guys meet? I am scared of the apps.
I think location is important. We live in Toronto, and I know that there are events for like queer speed dating. That's something that's an option. For me, expectations are really important. So if you're going into a space where it's like we are all there with the intention of dating, then it takes the pressure off of you being unsure about whether or not someone is interested or not.
Okay, so right out of the gate, we're talking about location. So I do think, like, we're in Canada, so I do think this would be slightly different for folks living in the US, folks living in the States. But I think that you're raising a good point, looking for events in the area that might draw other singles. Mm-hmm. I think as queer speed dating sounds really fun, actually. Like a queer speed dating event. I know we do them here in Toronto, so that's a really good starting point,
I'd say.
Can I add something on to that?
Yeah, please do.
I really believe in doing things that you already enjoy doing, because that's your comfort zone. That's where you're going to shine. But doing it in a slightly different, just making one slight tweak to it. So for example, if you really love spin class and there's a spin studio that you love going to, try another spin studio on the other side of the city. It's like you're in your comfort zone at spin, but you're just going to a different location. Or if you really enjoy art and you like being artsy, try a local pottery class, or try going to a craft class or a baking class, or something that's like in your wheelhouse, but just slightly new or different. So something that your body and mind are familiar with, but you're just doing it in a new location. What do you think? That's what I would do, work. Honestly. Also, a really great piece of advice that I was given once was to slightly switch up your daily routine to give you a new group of people to meet up with. So for example, if you take the subway to work and you always get off at the same stop, get off a stop earlier or later and go to a different coffee shop. So your route to work is slightly different. So it's not really hugely impacting your life, but it's just a slight change that's going to put you in a new group of people.
Totally. I think if you're not in a city where queer spaces are available to you, there's also a lot of like online, like I know some people who have met online because they were part of the same fandom. They enjoyed the same thing, and then there was fandom that was created around it. And because they had a shared interest, they they built a connection from that.
I think this question is tough because what if you're in, for example, like a state where you don't know, it's giving like the hunting wives, where like you don't know if people are queer or not. Like, what would you do?
I mean, I think in that scenario, I'm looking to online spaces. I'm looking to...
But she said she doesn't like online.
She said she doesn't like apps.
Oh, okay.
Like dating apps.
Yeah, same.
Like dating at the end of the day is the goal. Presumably connection is the goal. But it's location based, right? So it's like what feels accessible and safe to you. Because you're not going to meet someone you could meet someone in a situation where you don't feel the most safe, but I think you can always be the best version of yourself in a scenario where you feel like you can be yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's more about finding out like what makes you feel safe, comfortable, and in a space where you're able to be the most yourself, or in a space where you're discovering a new part of yourself, and then go in with an open mind of honestly making new friends.
This is my wheelhouse because like I hate dating apps. I was on a dating app once and never again. It was brutal. I was single for a really long time, but I really
You were single for 8 years.
Yep. I just said a long time.
I know, but a long time to someone might be 6 months.
Okay, yeah, I was single for 8 years. But I just really believe in meeting someone naturally. I was committed to meeting as many people as I could and then using my social connections to bring me to someone that I felt was compatible for me. So I would encourage you to not think too much about your age. I think a lot of folks that are like over 30 or over 40, they just get really fixated on a number like, oh my God, I'm over 40. Like, how am I going to meet someone? Just put yourself in positions and in spaces where you're feeling really good about yourself. I'd say if you are naturally like a little more shy, what is going to make you come out of your shell, you know? Because I also like, I'm a raging extrovert, so I'm very comfortable chatting with baristas, chatting with people, asking them what they do. And I think that definitely like helped. So I would say like considering like what helps you bloom a little more, that makes sense. Or keeping friends in your circle that have your best interests and can also help you converse is going to be useful too.
So when I said earlier, like be in a space where like that is these aspects of yourself can be the most comfortable, most safe. I don't mean like inherently physical space because that can be online space too. And I think,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking to this because like I don't always feel comfortable and safe out there in the wild. Like I can.
Second phone going to pick up on the audio.
Maybe. We have dog. We also have cat.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. I can't remember what I was saying.
You were saying sometimes it's not seeking a physical space, it's seeking any sort of space. And I think that's a good way of putting it, where it's like some people thrive in like a Discord type scenario. Some people
thrive at the disco.
Some people hang out in comment sections. Like I've met friends actually in the comment section of another person's video, genuinely.
Yeah.
I always like saying go where the resonance is. So go towards what makes you feel good, go towards what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. In that sense, the focus is not on how do I draw someone to me, but what is going to help me be the best version of myself. Because then energetically, you're just going to naturally draw people to you.
Well, it's expansive.
Yeah.
Like the thought you're working towards is something that is expansive, and it's like, how do I become greater, more?
Yeah.
Sorry, not yet.
I also genuinely think the biggest trip up that can happen to people is, like I said before, like focusing on age. Because I've noticed, like I'm 41, and something super strange happens after you turn 30, where people all of a sudden are calling themselves old. And I just have always consciously made a choice to never say that. Because I think you get in your head about it and you're like, I'm 30, I'll never meet someone, everyone's taken. And like just being really mindful of the way that you're speaking about yourself. I think a lot of people like cap themselves because they put a limit on like when you can meet someone.
Yes, I agree to that point. To add on to it, I would just say like age is important in the sense that like you want to make sure you're dating somebody who is age appropriate.
Of course.
I know that should go without saying, but like
to re-emphasize here, the reason why I brought up age is because for the limiting factors that it can have, where I think people are like, I'm too old to meet someone now, or I'm getting old, my time's running out. And then I see it's like a constricting thought. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, like your experience is not singular. There are other people who are also X age that are also experiencing the same thing.
Yes.
Like we have a friend who has a compet group for people who like recently realized that they had engaged in compet for so long and now they're like, oh no, gay? Cool. What's that about? And I feel like that experience is like A, not singular, and B, like can happen through a large range of ages and age groups. I think it's important to know that like your experience is not, you're not the only one. There's got to be someone
100%.
else who's also bi and 44.
Yes.
And looking to date. And maybe y'all will get together.
Genuinely follow people online that you can relate to.
Yeah.
There's so many people online. I think this is helpful because they're a visual reminder of like what's possible versus, like I said, it's easy to get down on yourself if you're like, I'm going to be, like I used to say, like, I'm going to be single forever. And like, that's not a helpful thought, but it's a very valid thought because the fear sets in. Following people that help you believe that like anything is possible and that are like living adjacent lifestyles.
Yeah.
But yes, also it should be said, like, please don't be creepy. Like, I met a woman, she was 60 and she was dating like a 24-year-old. And I feel like that requires a closer look.
Please be mindful.
Please be
of
mindful.
Your power dynamics.
But don't let your age deter you.
Like, we have an age gap, and like we also met in a way where like I think power dynamics could have been considered.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, okay, so like I was Kayla's tattoo artist initially, and so I think
that does not even a thing, Tiff.
No, it is a thing.
You know, you tattooed me and you were married.
I was married,
and then
at
we
the
were
time.
friends, and then
we were friends for
the tattoo relationship ended.
Yeah, like I was not Kayla's tattooer at the time when we weren't working
Also,
on any active projects.
Honey, you're not like.
But there is a trend, to interrupt you because I wanted to say, because there is a thing in like tattoo culture which is really weird where like people like date their clients but like while they're still tattooing them, and it's like, oh, some people use it as a way to like date, and like abuse of power can happen because like as a tattooer you are in a position of power. Like you are in a position where you are touching someone because that's the job, and you're meeting people in vulnerable spaces, because like to allow yourself to A, be touched, and B, to be in a position where you're feeling pain is deeply vulnerable. And so like there is a power dynamic that needs to be acknowledged. I'm always like, yes, I was Kayla's tattoo artist, and we became friends over
like
a long
7 years
time.
Probably.
Yeah. And then we reconnected after.
The story is pretty funny because I had a dream. This is a whole separate story. We can tell you the whole story of how we met in another video, but I had a dream that Tiff,
if that's something you want to,
was not. Yeah, let us know if you want to hear it. But to keep focus on the point, like we did meet because Tiff was my tattoo artist, but I met them, for context, in 2017, and then
it wasn't 7 years,
possibly 2016. And then we reconnected in 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's 2021. Oh, cutie pie. I think those are some good starting points. Do things slightly out of your comfort zone, but still things that help you shine. Do things that help you feel like the best version of you. Try out a queer single event if there's a little event in the area, or go to an event with something that interests you. Try switching up your daily routine. I also would say to optimize any social connection you have, because if you're uncomfortable about blasting across social media that you're queer, but then the local barista, you mention if they feel like a safe person to you that you're queer, maybe then they'll connect you to someone that they know that's also queer and single. Like, it's just like utilizing people in your...
And if not your local barista, maybe your friend. I feel like baristas do a lot of heavy lifting.
That's true, but some baristas like yapping, you know?
True, yeah.
So thanks for writing in.
Date your friends.
If there are any questions from the flock, so any questions that you guys have, please DM us. I check all of our DMs. We're so happy you're here, and see you. We're trying to be consistent, so we'll see you next week.